Hey everyone, welcome to Pass or Play. All right, so we're doing Queen Sugar Season 7, Episode 3 recap. So it opens up with Ralph, Angel, Darla, and Baby True. Um, Dollar's comforting Ralph Angel, just letting him know that Arthena's eviction, it wasn't his fault. There's really nothing that he could do. She does say, and he's like, that's what the co-op is for. And she's saying the co-op will, eventually will return a bigger profit, for them and all of the farmers. But again, they're only a couple months in. It's going to take some time before, the profits really start being bigger for everybody. And it does take time. It's just not going to be tomorrow. And he's still feeling down on himself, and he kind of, even though he gets what she's trying to do, he kind of kisses her on like forehead and kind of leaves. I gotta go, kind of dismisses it. Then the next scene we have Micah. He's coming into like school where his photography class is with the professor, and he sees the professor and Kiki talking. He comes in stunning with his cell phone, saying he's a real artist. He's a real working artist because he sold one of his photos as an NFT, which again is like a digital photo, people can buy. And then the professor's like, "Congrats, but don't let it get to your head. You're still selling this doesn't make you an artist. It just means your work has commercial value. Money shouldn't be the end goal, but care about the message, what your art is saying, what it stands for, and the value behind it, because overall that's what his audience or his fans will connect to." And he's like, okay. He's like, it's a photo that you like, though, which is a photo of him and Isaiah. Um, like one head is facing this way, the other head's facing the other way, and they're like next to each other. But yeah, it actually was a cool photo. And Kiki also asked Micah about his relationship with Isaiah, and Micah's like, we're just friends. I'm not dating anybody. And she's like, my friends don't believe that I dated Micah West. And he's like, oh, okay, you talk to your friends about me. And so kind of ends there. And then the next scene, we go to Aunt Vi with the help of Darla. They're at the cafe or the diner, and you have Mr. Rollins, the owner of the supermarkets. He's at the diner with them, and Vi is talking about trying to get Vi's Pies to go international. And Darla has created a business plan to show Mr. Rollins. But he's like, I can't help you because I'm about to retire. And I'm like, okay, but walk us through the steps of distribution. And he's like, it's a good thing you don't take no for an answer. He's like, I'll help you out, but I won't, you got to give me some pie. And his favorite pie is the pecan pie. And she like, okay, I'll give you some. Daughter's like, okay, we'll give you a slice and then two pies to go. And they're like, okay. And then we go to the next scene. Next scene, Dominic is laying on the couch and Nova walks in. She was out all night, helping out with the eviction with Athena. And she's basically catching Dominic up with everything that happened. He's asking her about Mo, who that is, and all that. And she tells him that Mo gave her an idea to do a ring shot, which is basically like it's like a like a celebratory dance that's honoring the people who honoring like the bodies and the victims of that Thibodeau massacre. Also, she's trying to get attention and whatnot, getting more eyes on it. So she's later on in the scene we'll see that she is doing flyers and trying to get the word out to get the numbers there for people to come and basically get the word out about the ring shot to get more eyes on it, get more coverage on it. All right, and then what else we got? Then we go to the farm. I don't know where they've been meeting at, but the farmers have been meeting like, for these like kind of co-op, and they must be meeting on someone's farm or something, but they're meeting at a farm. And Billy gives this like moving message about, how much power, how powerful the farmers are, and how strong they are. They're stronger and more powerful than, the people at the USDA know, than the Landrys know. They just kind of need to believe in that. And she also says that she's going to file a formal complaint with the USDA tomorrow about what's been going on, with this, with probably specifically in ties to that USDA agent who is only specifically working on the farmers, the black farmers accounts, and it's causing all these issues. And so she's going to do that. And then as she's speaking, her husband Vince shows up. And apparently it's been like 6 months since since she's been back home, to him and the kids. And he talked about how people talk in the South, and how getting directions, to Prosper's house was like, they were kind of having all these different sayings he didn't really understand, and the directions were kind of like all over the place because he didn't really understand what they were saying. But then she also, he also mentions, you got to come back home to me and the kids. And she's like, our kids are in college, give me some time. I don't know when I'm coming back. I don't, basically, she's like, I don't know when I'm coming back yet. And then we go to, Micah. So next scene is Micah, and he's trying to explain NFTs to Nova and how they work. And she's like, I don't get it, but she's like, I support you. And she's, at this point, she's in her house, and there's like different people on tables working on flyers and different things to set up for the ring shot event that they're going to have on the Borderlawn farm. And her friend Chantel comes in to kind of give her support and to help her in whatever way she can. And then next we go to Prosper's having a date. Prosper's having a date. Sorry. Prosper's having a date. And they're going over, kind of like their past relationships. And that was basically it. Prosper's having a date. And they end up going with, they're going over, like, she was talking about her, like, previous relationship, which is the actress is played by Ann Nesby. I forget the character's name, honestly. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. It's like knowing the characters, but then trying to keep track of all the names. It's like really bad. It's like, who is this? Like, what's up? Like, that's Ann Nesby. I know that much. Okay, and then next we go to Darla brings Aunt Vi and Ralph Angel to the farmer's market. And she's letting, Aunt Vi know that she basically, we can use this as a step towards you going international. We can do a booth with your pies, and then the co-op, in conjunction, we can get more recognition, more eyes on it. And then we can start building this towards going more international, get more people to know your pies and your name, get it out, just get it outside of St. Joe's. I know you're comfortable with it in St. Joe's, but if you really want to go international, this is something that you need to do. This is the next step, from just the diner and the markets in the local area to kind of expanding it, to people outside of that. And, at first, Aunt Vi's a little apprehensive, and, she's like, and Darla's like, I've never known you to be scared before, so don't be scared now. You can do this. And then we go to Ralph Angel talking to Tran, his boss over at the fishing, at his fishing job. She starts talking, he starts talking to Tran about his troubles with Darla and her understanding like the family business, and how he's feeling about it, the co-op and all that. And Tran's like, wait, stop right there. Don't. She's like, I wouldn't want my husband talking to somebody else about my problems. Just stop it right there. And you know, and Darla walks in on it and says, what don't I get? And then so we, so then we go to So then we go to it's dinner in the we go to dinner at Aunt Via and Hollywood's house. They're having dinner, and it's a little bit cold at dinner, and Dollar's just upset. Ralph Angel's like, we were just talking family business, and she's like, Dollar's like, I've been helping you with the business for years. I've been helping Aunt Vi with the diner, and I did her business plan for her. I've been helping the co-op. I've been helping with the co-op. I've been helping the different farmers at the co-op with their different businesses and things like that. Put some respect on my name, like. And then you talking to your ex-girlfriend too, even though they both married. They're both married now. But at one point they were dating a couple of seasons ago. I don't remember what season it was, but he dated her a couple of seasons ago, and now he's talking to her about his wife, and so though there was nothing slippery necessarily in that conversation, it's just kind of like no, no, you don't do that. And so, and then now we go back to Vince. Vince now is at Prosper's house, looking around, saying, "Wow, this is really nice." You can tell a lot of love and things went into this house. You can feel it. He's like, I didn't really know what to think, based on what Billy had told him. And he's like, I don't even, get why, this is a nice town. This is a nice area from what I see. I don't really get why why we never came to visit or never came out here with the family. And, Prosper looks up and Billy gives him like a look like, don't tell him, because she hasn't told him about, because she was assaulted by Aunt Vi's husband at the time, and I can't think of his name. That character, who was played by David Allen Greer, though, a few seasons back, and how she was treated because nobody believed her at the time, and she's just feeling like she's gotten some closure, and people kind of understand now what happened at that time, and so she's just dealing with that, and helping Prosper get better from the accident, all these different from him being sick and all. So she hasn't really told Vince why she left St. Joe's, and Prosper kind of leaves them, and goes to bed, and then Vince and Billy talk a little bit, and she's like, well, have a good night, and he like tries to kiss her, and she's just kind of like, no. She's not I guess was he trying to get a kiss, or was he trying to go get intimate, but she kind of like, no, have a good night. She's just like, leaves him there. So she sets up a bed or whatever, sets up a couch for him, sets the couch up for him to lay on. um then we go outside to Hollywood and Ralph Angel talking. Hollywood's like, hey, you stupid, right? Talking to your ex-girlfriend boss about your wife. Dollar's just not one of these like young girls. She's a part. She is your partner. She wants to support you, not just being your wife. I know you're a strong man and you feel like you got to take care of everything, but Dollar's just not gonna just rely on you to do stuff. She's gonna help you. She's gonna be supportive. She wants to add, to what's going on and what you're doing. She wants to be a part of it. So, let her, um, you know, and then we go into the kitchen, and Vi and Dollar are talking now, and Vi gives her. I mean, she gives her a 50, but there's some other bills in there. But she gives her some money, saying thank you for the business plan and the farmers market booth ideas. It would have cost me an arm and a leg if somebody else had done that business plan for me. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. You didn't ask for payment, but I'm giving it to you, and you're going to take it. And I want you to be my business partner. You're smart and amazing, and you are beautiful, and you are important. No, she didn't say the beautiful and important, but she basically, I mean, she did say you were, be my business partner. You're smart and amazing, but it felt like she could have went into, you are beautiful and important, and Dollar's like, I want, basically she wants Ralph Angel to acknowledge, what she's doing and how valuable she is. And she says, like, I know I shouldn't want it, but I do want it. And so, but her and Vi have like a real cool, like, tender moment, and you can see how they've progressed, over the seasons. Because at first you couldn't stand her, and now they've really come a long way. So I think that was a good full circle moment. Considering how Aunt Vi had felt about Darla before, and to hear that, to hear her say that, you could tell that Darla was really moved. And if you've seen the show, you would get how, like, cool of a moment that was, considering their history from, season one and all that. So, but yeah. So then we go to we're back at we're back at Nova's house, and Chantel is this is like after everybody has left from working on the ring the ring shot event. Chantel is still there drinking, and Nova's like, I want you to go, but you ain't left yet. You gotta leave. You know, and Chantel and Nova are talking about Dominic, and she's like, I can, just like, you're happy, I can, don't run away. When you start falling for someone or things start going good, you tend to run away and, like, hide yourself. But, if, she's like, she senses that, Nova's in a good place, and she's basically like, if you're catching feelings and it's showing that it's good, be yourself, be real. Let him see who you are. And then Dominic walks in. At this point, it almost seems like Dominic and Nova's living together, but I don't necessarily know if that's true. It's just that you only see them at her house at this point. These episodes. Um, I don't necessarily know if they have moved in, but you see her. I mean, yeah, you see her and him together. Like, he just walked in, whether or not the door was locked or he had a key, I don't know. But anyway, so Dominic walks in and he meets Chantel, and she's like, "Well, he's an upgrade from the white from the white cop." And Dominic's like, "Thank you, like, thanks, I guess. You're right. Black lives matter." Anyway, but, you know, and yeah, that's basically it. And then they kind of chit chat for a minute. Nova gets more wine. He's like, "Well, maybe she should stay if she's going to tell me more about you that I don't know." And then too, later on in another scene, when Dominic and Nova's going to bed after Chantel, her friend, leaves, he's like, "I know you have these different sides of you, that Mo gets to see, that Chantel gets to see, the activist side of Nova." But he's like, "Is there a special side for me?" And things like that. He's about to go to Savannah for another trip, but says, like, the Wi-Fi, shoddy. And, does Nova want to come with him? And she's like, "I can't. I got work here to do." But yeah. And then I know in the preview of like, season 7, they did show that the cop is coming back at some point. Who knows what episode? But he is gonna come back again. So maybe he ends up getting released from jail or something, or they shorten his sentence. I guess we'll find out what happened. I mean, he got arrested, but didn't really say how how the event and all that went. I mean, or not the event, but, like, what the case was. He arrested? Did he? I'm assuming he went to jail or something, or how long that was for. But I guess we'll find that out whenever he comes back into the picture in a later episode. And then, so after all of that, we have the ring shot ceremony itself. And I think there was something. There was like another scene with. Oh yeah, I think it was that scene with Vince and Billy, and then the scene with Nova and Dominic and Chantel, and then, so the last thing is, it's the day of the ring shot ceremony. All the Bordelon family. I mean, the Bordelon family's there except for, like, Blue. He's off at school, but everyone else is there. There's some news coverage. There's different people who probably at Nova's house helping to set up for the ring shot event. And there's just a bunch of people on the Bordelon farm, kind of gathered around, um, talking. And then at some point they end up forming a circle. And Nova starts, speaking up, gives a stirring speech about, keeping the bodies where they're buried. This is where this happened. The bodies are at more or less peace, or they want to stay where they are and basically not to move the bodies. Um, and then so the tribute dance is going on in the middle of the circle, and then you see Landry coming, showing up, and he shows up with about maybe 3 or 4 cops. And he kind of he's at the other, the border loans are on this side, and he's coming from this side, and he's on this side of the circle, but he starts walking up with a cop. He's kind of listening to he's watching what they're doing, listening, and then he stands for like a minute or two, and then he just turns around and walks away with the cop, and just kind of leaves them alone. He just lets them basically have the ceremony. I guess if they had done something that he felt that would have made sense to do to stop it, he would have. And they also probably still had the camera crews there, I'm assuming, too. So maybe he didn't want to have it as a bad look. But either way, he just kind of walks off, and then the show ends, the episode ends. So yeah, I think I think at the end this was a good episode. It's moving the story forward. The border loans now, again, they're trying to counteract what the city council passed on allowing the outlet mall to be made, to help the oh my god, I can't even think right now. To help with the economy, of St. Joe's. So we're gonna see what ends up happening. And, the last review I said that, or episode 2, I said that this episode was a little bit slow, but I do want to say that the thing that I love about the show overall is that it's about family dynamics, and understanding your part in family, valuing each other, loving one another through the good times and the bad times, and and what it means to support and have support and love for one another, kind of no matter what. Over these 7 seasons, we've seen this family go through a lot of stuff. Different characters go through a lot of stuff. Death and divorce and marriage, and people dying, making bad mistakes, infidelity. Uh, you know, all these things happening, and how the family has to go through it. Nova making that book, and that kind of that season and whatnot. So it's a great portrayal of just kind of like family dynamics and what it means to be in a family regardless of what your race is, but specifically Black families. I think it's a good message and portrayal of what it looks like, of every day, to go through the everyday life, and the struggle of just learning to love each other, and being decent, and seeing people's humanity, and being supportive of your family. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, because I don't want to be like, because I just say the last episode was boring. I mean, I guess the show has always been a slow thing. Sometimes there's more or less drama depending on the episode, but either way, this has been a good episode. So until next week, episode 4. And yeah, until the next review or movie, which I don't know yet. But thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next video. And if you like this, like below, subscribe, and comment.